I do hope this is coming out as spectacular on the camera as it is in real life, but this is, I don't know, I never know how to pronounce it. Ethereal, majestic, magical, fantastic, fantasyland, Lord of the Rings. Incredible, just the way, obviously the rocks themselves, and then we've got the cloud, we've got the sun, the light, the sun just coming through the clouds. We've got snow. Like we could not have planned this any better for the weather. Obviously, middle of summer it's going to be warmer, but I'll tell you a quick story. When I first came through here, 2019, I was riding with Ash and with Julian, and we stopped there to take a photo, and a man came out one of those green top buildings there, old bloke, just started dancing in the middle of the road for us, and we filmed him and we were like, well, yeah, and he was dead enthusiastic, and that was it, we rode on, but it was such a memorable little moment. Me and Ash still talk about it now. Do you remember that time when that bloke just stopped us and started dancing? And that's where it was, and just just there on that corner there of that house. Yeah, absolutely wonderful. Look at that. Now look down there. Everyone's got a cold there. But yeah, the weather has really treated us nicely. It's been kind, because with the snow on the ground, it's obviously been a downpour of snow. Oh, because I believe the weather was. The bloke last night at the bar, in the restaurant, says he's the first English people we've been in that restaurant. So there's not clearly many English people going to Plouzine, although there are some, because I know people who've been, and it's not on the tourist trail, but it's certainly not off it completely. And I think the Balkans, certainly for the Brits, for the Germans and the mainland Europeans, it's not so bad, but the Balkans for the Brits takes a bit of getting down to, because you've either got to do the long slog down, you've got to fly in and rent a bike, or do what we've done and ship the bikes down to Slovenia. But I've got to say, this has worked out fantastic, because it's allowed people like Phil and Matt on CRF and Helen on 250s and 300s come down and do all this. And we've got Simon in front. The gang is back together. Oh, Simon! Yeah. Lovely. Well, this is all a bit shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Charles, you alright?
Is this your off-road track?
Yeah. No, well, the off-road goes through the road. The road and the trail are the same for a long time. Did you go and do that one way? I don't bother.
What?
Oh, it's alright. Okay. So this is rated easy on ACT. Comes back to it. Nothing's easy if you don't know what you're doing and you're on a bike that's too big for you. Everything's relative. But I would say this is, well, it's pretty steep. It's not too bad. Control it on the back brake. That's all I'm doing, back brake. Got the clutch in. Actually, I'm not doing any engine braking, just clutch, just back brake. A little bit of front brake as well, which is fine because I've already got the back in, so that's all balanced nice. Trying not to encourage any slip, any locking. Looks like there's been quite a few bites down here already, actually, not just ours but other people's. I've got a feeling this is going to be a pretty spectacular trail. Just letting the bike move a little bit through the track, across the track. I'm not trying to rigidly steer it in any particular place. Obviously there's no major obstacle, so just letting the bike roll. But it's a pace that's going to keep you, you know, upright. It's when people start getting too fast, trying to keep up with other people or trying to prove something. That's when you start to get trouble. If you've got a decent standing position down here, so I always say it's like standing at the sink washing the pots. Just stood here, got my elbows up, doing the dishes, got my legs not quite locked out, almost, but just with a softness in the knee just to allow it to absorb and to bend. My body's quite loose in the arms, just letting the bike flow. But it's always soft input on the brakes and on the throttle. But if you're riding like that, you know, with the basics of clutch, standing, brakes, you can do this sort of stuff pretty easy. You know, it's not rocket science. Or you just get yourself a CRF and sit down, you know, like Austin Vince does. I don't think Austin ever stands up. I don't think he's ever been seen to stand up on a trail bike off road. You know, he does it all sat down, which is fine. If that suits him, that's fine. Keep an eye on them. Always good on trails just to stretch people out. Yeah, you know, I'm leading this tour, and how I have got this, I've got Ben at the back, who's a safe pair of hands. He's second in command on this one. He's at the back making sure everyone's mopped up. But then I've got Harry behind me, who's probably a quicker rider than the others a little bit. Who likes to push on, so just letting him his wheels roll. I don't think with a group ride you have to keep everyone on top of each other. The best thing is to almost get the faster riders to the front, give them something to ride, allow them to flow, and encourage the riders at the back just to take their own pace. You know, confirm with them that there's no rush, there's no haste in any of this. You don't have to keep up. Stop every 10 minutes, regroup. Stop every 10 minutes, regroup. That gives a chance for the faster riders to get it out of the system, to roll on a bit, and also the slow riders to know that there's always going to be somebody waiting. You're never going to be like half an hour behind the pack. Lovely track there, this. Nice, not challenging, but enough to keep you on your toes. A few loose rocks, some cow poop. Oh, that is a view. Let's show you the view. Yeah, it looks like there's been some trail riders down here last day or two, I would say. Some fresh tracks. This is where all your compromisers are discovered between small bike, big bike. You've come down on a big bike for the comfort on the road, and then you realise you've got 250 kilos on the gravel, and that's your trade-off. The guys who've come down on the 300 trail bikes, they've suffered a bit on the road, lack of speed, lack of wind protection, but now they've got perfect bikes, easy bikes, manageable bikes, safe bikes. And that's where it is. The 450s, as I've always said, the 450s are a new class, well, not a re-emerging class, which I think have struck a real nice balance between doing the road and doing the track. Like the 450 CF or Himalayan, 390 KTM on these kind of tracks have been their element, but then they can also do 80 miles an hour with wind protection on motorway, and that's why I'm a big fan of them, really. This 650 Marine is doing alright, actually. It's not sophisticated off-road, but it's absolutely fine. Manageable. Fun as well, you know, there's a little bit of fun in it. Got some loose gravel here, let's watch that. That's where I am, always back brake. I'm always just soft on that back brake, just keeping the bike down at the back, trying to avoid loading the front or letting the weight drop onto that front. That's what's going to give you some washout. Tall gear, I think I'm in third at the minute, but I probably could have took fourth actually down there. Just let the bike roll. And say everyone's got their own technique and style. If you do any off-road tuition, everyone teaches you differently. Everyone's got their own way. Sometimes it's just about what works for you, you know. Standing, sitting, cornering technique. I mean, there are obviously some basic principles. I was just about to say braking, but then I heard about one school who teaches you to do all your braking off-road on your front, and I thought, well, that's not something I would encourage, but I think they use bikes that have got link brakes, so when you hit the front brake, it touches the rear, it activates the rear. So obviously that works well, but I'm not convinced it'd apply well if you jumped on an older bike without link brakes. Tyre pressures, take them down a bit. I won't go daft. We want to avoid punctures and dents where possible. Let's wait for a minute. Right, we're going to regroup. Nice to stop. That was all right.
It was.
That was all right.
That'll do. It'd be great.
Say it, yeah. Yeah, it's nice that.
It's having the balls to do it, but a little bit quicker is easier. Quick traction control and ABSS. Possibly just a bit better. I know it's quite good.
Fuck me. Thank you. You'll be dead if you fall down there. Fucking.
Jedva sam se popela. Evo ovako ste mi.
Hello, cows. Bet you're wondering what the hell's happening. I suppose it's back in a day where everything was accessible by rough track. You know, the use of the rough track is paramount, wasn't it? I know we think roads now is how we get to places, but in days gone by it was obviously this was good. This probably would have been considered a good track, and now we have specialist motorcycles, gear and boots and helmets and all sorts of stuff. But once upon a time this would have been the access road from one place to another. Now we're adventurers, venturing forth on undiscovered routes that have been here for thousands of years. In the viewing tower. Look at this, the owl's nest.
Hello.
We survived.
Survived. That was a swim.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's a view, isn't it?
Huh?
There's a view. I love the leaves. Look at the colours, especially with the blue sky. On the ferry, so this is a ferry across the Mersey. Weather's like the Mersey, isn't it? Now, ferry across the little bay near Kota. It's going to quieten off again now. It's all been a bit. Montenegro's growing, developing. Apparently, a lot of black money. I think a lot of nations using places like Montenegro to wash some dirty currency out. And a hell of a lot of development going on in Montenegro. Not much of it sympathetic to the surroundings. Been a big change in the last sort of 6 years since I was last here. So Budva, Kota, well Budva in particular, and that road along there, heavily sort of developing. Is what it is, I guess. Progress, or some may argue. Whereas now I think we're going to get back into a little bit more tranquility and Adriatic coastal charm, which we can already see here. So yeah, nice. But rain is setting in. We've had great weather, can't complain for a day of rain. So here we are. Okay, just a quick little vid. Only a minute because that's all I've got on my memory card. Oh, let's get right gear. Okay, so this is just the coastline south of Split. We're probably like 70 kilometres from Split. There is a name to this coastline, I forget what it is. Something coast. I've got to say, it is absolutely incredible combination. Mountains, tarmac, blue sea, quiet, calm, great corners. It's just some of the best riding I've ever enjoyed. For those reasons, great views, great riding, great weather. It's probably like 18, 19 degrees. And yeah, we're just going to go to stop and get a cup of tea in a minute. Carry on to Split. But look at the ocean, look at the blue. Yeah, you could do a nice little loop just coming along this road out to the islands, back round, etc. Alright, that's it really, just to show you this, because it's, yeah, I have to say, it's breathtaking. And actually, I can just see on here now, there's a mountain road just probably over that ridge. I can imagine that's got some incredible views as well. So yeah, you could lose yourself out here. They're all very civilised, good food, good views. Cheers. If you take the bike out of the spec sheet scenario and put it in an environment like this, it has been fantastic. I've really enjoyed riding it. It's a bike I've owned for 3.5 years. It's my own bike. It's been laying dormant for 18 months, and it came out of retirement for this. And you know, I'm really glad I am, because it's been a perfect Croatian, Bosnian, Montenegro travel bike, like discovery bike. So yeah, very, very happy. And here we are. We're going to go and check these bikes in somewhere down here. And they're all going to get me put on the stillages. Everyone's here. We had a slight incident. Charles today on his Touareg came off on a corner and got his bike ran over by a car coming the other way, which was quite unfortunate. So I've been with him at the roadside, helping him, or trying to help as much as I can, for him to arrange recovery, which is absolute pain in the backside, I have to say. For anybody who does fall off overseas, it's never easy. There we go. My eyes have a light. Then we're going back one. Oh. Home sweet home. A bit further. Oh, is everyone alive? Is everyone alive?